The drone of the Boeing 777 was a lullaby to most passengers on the transatlantic flight from London to New York. For 17-year-old Jordan Williams, it was the sound of his future taking off. Tucked into an economy seat, he was rereading an advanced robotics textbook, his mind already at the prestigious summer program at MIT he was flying to. He was a kid from a neighborhood where opportunities were scarce, but his brilliance was his passport. 6 hours into the flight, a sudden commotion from the first-class cabin sliced through the calm. A flight attendant's voice, tight with urgency, came over the intercom. "Is there a doctor or a medical professional on board? Please press your call button immediately." Heads popped up. A murmur of concern rippled through the plane. Jordan craned his neck but couldn't see anything. A few minutes passed, filled with tense silence and the hurried footsteps of the cabin crew. The request was repeated, this time with a distinct note of panic. No doctor was on board. Then, a man's desperate cry echoed from behind the curtain. "Please, someone help. My wife. She can't breathe properly." Something in Jordan clicked. It was the memory of his mother, a registered nurse, drilling him on emergency response for a school project. "You don't have to be a doctor to save a life, Jordan," she'd said. "You just have to be calm and know the basics." He unbuckled his seatbelt. He wasn't a doctor, but he was something. He walked toward the front, his heart hammering against his ribs. He slipped past the curtain into the quiet luxury of first class, where a scene of pure chaos was unfolding. A woman, heavily pregnant, was slumped in her spacious seat, her face pale and beaded with sweat. Her hands, adorned with a massive diamond ring, were swollen and clutching her chest. A tall, impeccably dressed man with silvering temples was kneeling beside her, his composure shattered. "Isabella, honey, just breathe. Please, just breathe." A flight attendant was holding an oxygen mask, unsure of what to do next. "Excuse me," Jordan said, his voice quiet but firm. The man, Richard Sterling, a name Jordan would later learn was synonymous with real estate empires, barely glanced at him. "Son, we need a doctor, not a kid." "My mom's an RN," Jordan said, his focus entirely on the woman. "I know some things. What are her symptoms?" The flight attendant, desperate, looked at Jordan. "She complained of a blinding headache, blurred vision, and now she's short of breath. She's 32 weeks pregnant." The words clicked into place like tumblers in a lock. Preeclampsia. A dangerous, hypertensive disorder in pregnancy his mother had often talked about. "We need to get her on her left side now," Jordan commanded, a sudden authority in his voice that surprised everyone, including himself. "It'll help blood flow to the placenta and elevate her feet." He helped the frantic husband and the flight attendant gently shift Isabella. He spoke calmly, his voice a steady anchor in the storm of their panic. "Talk to her. Keep her calm. Tell her the pilot is finding a place to land. Is there any aspirin on this plane? A low-dose one?" Richard Sterling stared at the teenager, his initial dismissal replaced by stunned awe. This kid wasn't guessing. He was acting with a purpose that no one else had. A flight attendant rushed off and returned with a medical kit containing baby aspirin. For the next terrifying 45 minutes, as the pilot diverted the plane to the nearest airport in Canada, Jordan was the calm center of the storm. He monitored Isabella's breathing, kept her husband focused on soothing her, and explained to the crew what the paramedics would need to know upon landing. He didn't perform a miracle. He simply provided a bridge of stability over a chasm of panic. When the plane landed, paramedics rushed on board, their professionalism a welcome relief. As they took over, one of them looked at Jordan. "Preeclampsia, you said? Good call, kid. You keeping her on her side and calm probably kept her from having a seizure. You did good." Isabella was whisked away to a hospital, Richard Sterling at her side. Before he left, he grabbed Jordan's arm, his eyes filled with a raw, profound gratitude. "I don't know who you are, but you saved her. You saved them both. I need your name. I owe you everything." He scribbled Jordan's name and number on a piece of paper. A week later, Jordan was deep into his program at MIT when he got a call from a sleek New York number. It was Richard Sterling. Isabella and the baby were stable. The doctors had confirmed that Jordan's quick thinking had been critical. Mr. Sterling insisted on flying to Boston to thank him in person. They met in a luxurious hotel suite that cost more per night than Jordan's family made in a month.